Hey there everybody, my name is Keno, and welcome back to our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series here on the channel. Now, in the last episode, even though it was a bit of a shorter one, we only did about 20 games worth of simulation. It was kind of to test and see what we had with this roster, what we could do with this roster, and where we would be come the trade deadline. Now, we are on the eve of the trade deadline, and if you look at our record, and you look at our current place in the standings, not only are we 8 points ahead of the second place Ottawa Senators and 3 points ahead of the first place Western team Anaheim Ducks, we sit number 1 in the NHL entirely with a record of 42, 17, and 3 through 62 games. There are 20 games left in the season. We would have to screw up so colossally just to miss the playoffs. It's scary. And at this rate, even though we're 5-5-0 in our last 10, at this rate, with the firepower we have and the trajectory we're on, we would have to screw up pretty bad to miss out on the President's Trophy, if not just our conference title. We are heading for monumental status this season, and I want to keep it going. Now, in between episodes, I looked at all the options that we had for trades, and because we have Fog of War on, our scouts kind of suck, and they don't really tell us what to do. But then again, you look at this roster, and you look at what we've been capable of. Juraj Slafkovsky's got 30 goals this season. He's possibly on pace for a 40-goal season. Cole Caulfield, I said it, it was the title of the last video. 47 goals in 62 games. If he turns it on, he goes on these hot streaks. If he turns it on, he could get 70 goals. I'm projecting around 60 goals this season, but we don't know what he could do. If I don't jump the lines up too much and we kind of go as we are right now, this team could break records, and that's hard to do with a team that's as old and historic and franchised as the Montreal Canadiens. Now, the biggest weak link here is Brendan Gallagher. That's why I was looking at his stats here. Massive drop off from last season. He had 32 goals last season. He's probably on pace for maybe 20 this season. I doubt it though. With 9 goals in 62 games, I think he might not even get to 15. That's if we don't step in now. But what do? Do we try to bump him up onto that second line and see what he can do? With 2 years after this one, he is a potential candidate to be bought out in the offseason. And with that in mind, we might just bump him down or bump him out of the lineup entirely. We have Jesse Ylonen, who is ready. He has done well. He's a great defensive asset for our team too. I would love to get him into the lineup as much as I can. And I think that might come at the cost of one Brendan Gallagher. Now, do I want to scratch Brendan Gallagher? No, not necessarily. I don't think that's the way to do it, honestly. I think we possibly bump him down to that fourth line. Does that mean Jake Evans falls out? Unfortunately, I think it does. Even though he's doing great with more goals than Brendan Gallagher on the fourth line, I just don't know how we keep him, Harvey Pinard, and William Carrier all together. Sorry, got a little jumbled up there. Raphael, Harvey Pinard, and William Carrier all together with Jake Evans. I mean, we could try to waive Brendan Gallagher. He might still have some trade value, but I'm not too sure if it's even worth it to try and trade him out. It kind of feels a little cheap to try and trade out a guy who's not even on pace for 20 goals this season, but making $6.5 million for the next 2. It feels weird to trade him out to see if we can get anything back. If I was going to trade him out, I'd be trading him along with something. So maybe Gallagher and a 3rd round pick for a 4th or 5th round pick. Will anyone even want him? Okay, so that's my problem here, is that Erik Olsson's a high starter. I know that. Strubak's a medium top 4 defenseman. Rinzel's top 4. I think Yakemchuk's a top 4. I shouldn't be able to get a potential stud on the D-line or star goaltender for the price of an aging, overweight contract. With that being said, I don't feel comfortable trading him out, especially with how much he has done for the Canadiens. I think the best thing, I know it's contradictory, but the best thing to do is to waive him. If nobody claims him, we'll buy him out in the offseason. This is the best thing to do. This I feel most comfortable with. And then we get Ylonen into the lineup. And does he get claimed? He doesn't get claimed. Why would a team pay a top chip prospect for a guy they didn't even want to get for free? It just doesn't make sense. So we get Ylonen here on the 3rd line with Marchessault and Roy. And on the 2nd line, we keep Slafkovsky, Farrell, and Doc together. And that is funny enough, our big free agent acquisition, I don't think we need to do anything else. There's no one jumping out of the page at me. There's no teams offering me the sun and the moon for somebody that is not worth it. We're going to go into the trade deadline and see if any new faces come available, but I'm not paying exorbitant prices or any players from the current roster aside from maybe Mike Matheson for any upgrades. It's just not worth it. Let's jump into it here and see what happens. Oh, and Fleury accepts the contract extension. So does Lane Hudson, Sean Farrell, Caden Gooley is signed long-term, Mike Benning extends, Nicholas Beaudin extends, Xavier Simoneau extends, Jan Mizak extends, Caden Primo extends. So I honestly forgot that we did that in the last video, but that's amazing news for us. So we're going to see. Same with Marc-Andre Fleury. Don't know if he's going to come back next season. He might just retire, but if he does, he has a team to go back to. So we're going to keep current trade block status, jump into this trade deadline day, and see if any stars come available. Because unless it's someone who's game breaking, and I don't think Travis Sanheim for 6.25 over 7 years is, unless there's somebody here that is monumental, I'm not making any moves. Now, Jake Neighbors, 43 points in 64 games. He looks good, but we have Seth Shelley coming up. And I'm sad that I didn't get him in the lineup this year, but he's coming up next year. He's going to be breaking records next year for us. I'm certain of it. We could trade away Jonathan Marchessault, but 58 points in 62 games when we're on such a great season as we are. And again, it's only the Blackhawks interested. Not worth it. It's just not worth it. With that all in mind, I think you guys agree with me. There's nothing to do. Maybe Jake Neighbors, but I don't feel good about it. I wouldn't feel good knocking anyone off that. Ooh, what? And look at the price. They want 2 first-round picks plus Jack-Eye, Reinbacher and Vini, Barron a first and a second. That doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. So no, we're going to be standing pat at this trade deadline again because we're not in a need to buy. Yes, we're in a position to buy with our record on the line and the trajectory we're on, but at the same time, that trajectory kind of shows that we don't need to add anything. We're the ¡1 team in the NHL. Why do we need to trade anything? So I will be exiting this trade deadline, and we are going to do probably another shorter season this season. And we're going to do probably another shorter video this episode and jump through the last part of the season, the last 20 game stretch of this season. Now, it looks like there's some big trades that happened because this has taken a long time to load. John Carlson to the Chicago Blackhawks for Oliver Moore and Sam Renzel. And that's it? Okay. Well, that's it. We're going to jump through the last part of this season here. It might take a bit. The sim speed is very painful. But this is the best that we can do at this point in time. Alright, against the Ottawa Senators here. Let's see how we do. A 7-2 win. Cole Caulfield's 3 goals away from 50. He's doing great against the Tampa Bay Lightning here, who are very bad this season somehow. And we lose 4-0. So that's weird. Against the Boston Bruins, also doing terribly this season, almost identical to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we win 3-0. So that's what I expected in the first game. We're not going to be making any direct changes here. Against the Ottawa Senators. And, Vlasic is hurt in the AHL. It doesn't really matter to us right now. And it's a 5-2 loss. So we're jumping things up a bit, and we're messing up a bit here in the last stretch of this season. Okay, a lot of players in the AHL already. I don't really care about that. Against the Colorado Avalanche here, we're now 4-6-0 in the last 10, so we got to get things back together, and we do. 6-2 win over a pretty decent team against a middling New York Islanders team. Caulfield 1 goal away from 50. Will he get it here against the Islanders? Oh, Juraj Slafkovsky's out for the rest of the regular season with a broken foot. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not at all what you expect, or what you hope for, or what you want. At least we still have Brendan Gallagher, but... oh, that's not good. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at what's available in the minors, what the best option is, and I'm going to make some moves into this lineup. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back with this lineup, and from the minors, I've called up Alexander Barré-Boulet, and I have called up Brendan Gallagher just in case Barré-Boulet struggles in this call-up. We're going to give him 5 games, see how he gels between Sean Farrell and Kirby Dach. And if he doesn't do too well, then we'll put Kirby Dach in the center and put Brendan Gallagher on the wing. But for now, let's see. Did we even win this game? We did. We win 4-1, and Cole Caulfield notches that 50th goal of the season. 50 goals in 68 games. I don't know if he's going to reach 70, but he is sure going to reach 60. I'm almost certain that he can get 10 goals in his next 14 games. I know that seems a little outlandish, and usually that's something you don't say about what a hockey player can do, but I think he can do it. Now against the Detroit Red Wings in the second half of a back-to-back here, let's see how we do. And it's a 6-4 win, and Caulfield gets 3 assists that game, no goals. So off to a rough start, but maybe against the Boston Bruins here, he can rebound. They're a bad team. Maybe he can get through that goalie like Swiss cheese. And he does. He notches 2 on him. He's up to 88 points in the season and 52 goals with 12 games remaining. Can he get to 60? Maybe I give him too outlandish of a goal. Maybe he will not reach those expectations, but I don't think it'd be a letdown. 50 goals on the season is amazing as it is. Let's give 2 more games before seeing how Alexander Barré-Boulet has done at the second line center position. Vlasic's back in the minors. A 5-4 shootout loss. Cole Caulfield gets another 2 goals there against the St. Louis Blues. And that's another 6-3 win. He's got another 2 goals. So, hold on a second. I said it might have been too outlandish of a thing to do. And what does he do except for dominate completely? At 68 games into the season, I said that he needed another 10 goals in the next 14 games in order to get to 60. He's now 4 away from that in just 4 games. He's got 6 goals in his last 4 games. That's insane. Now let's see how Barré-Boulet has done at that 2C position. I know he already had a call-up this season, so I should have checked what his stats were, but I'm sure we'll know how he's doing here. 5 goals in 7 games. He's just throwing the puck into the net, not on the net, into the net. 10 games left in the season. Newhook has 61 and 72. Suzuki, who has only played 57 games this season, has 79 points. So he is doing phenomenally. Cole Caulfield, again, with 56 goals in 72 games, 93 points. He is on pace for something beautiful. Sean Farrell with 44 points in 54 games, absolutely astounding. Barré-Boulet with 5 goals in 7 games. Wow. Kirby Dach with 64 points in 72 games. Jonathan Marchessault with 64 points in 72 games. Joshua Waugh with 45 points in 72 games. Jesse Alana with, is that 30 points in 48 games? So he is just dominant. I actually want to take a quick check of his metrics. Yeah, 33 takeaways compared to 19 giveaways and 23 hits. So he has been a great two-way forward. Carrier with 22 points, Harvey Pinard with 28 points, and Jake Evans with 29 points. So we didn't even have to break up that 4th line. I know Brendan Gallagher's probably getting a little upset being a scratch, but he wasn't doing good. And then Yuri Slafkovsky, unfortunately, he won't make it to that 40-goal plateau this season. He probably could have. And I'm going to be so bummed if he never reaches like the 40-goal plateau, or if he doesn't even get to 30 again, because that a great season by the young former 1st overall pick. And then Marc-Andre Fleury has turned on the Jets lately, and he has just been stopping everything he's been facing. 28 wins, 11 losses, 3 overtime losses through 46 games played, plus 4 shutouts. Absolutely insane. Jake Allen has done very well as well. And we're going to see... Again, it's a little unfortunate that Montembeault could not stop anything, possibly let alone a beach ball, but we'll have to see. We're going to go with Jake Allen for the next few games. Did we get win 50 of the season, by the way? We didn't. We're on the cusp of win 50. Oh, you know what? It feels a little bad to give that. No, you know what? Marc-Andre Fleury is great, and I'm glad that he's on the team. Jake Allen deserves to notch the 50th win for the Montreal Canadiens this season. Let's see if he can do it here against the Calgary Flames, who are doing decently, a little bit below 500, but they're 5-3-2 in the last 10. We're 7-2-1, so hopefully this should be a walk in the park for us. Let's see. Oh, long sim here. 5-3 loss. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, we will notch it here against the Arizona Coyotes. I have this feeling they're 3-7-0 in their last 10. We're going to get it here against the Arizona Coyotes, game 74 of the season, and we lose Gustav Forsling for the rest of the regular season as well. Okay, we're just going to do replace this player because Strubal's there. We lose 6-1. Okay. Allen, my rule of 2 still stands. I wanted you to get the 50th win, but I still have to focus on this team as a whole. And you're not doing very well right now, unfortunately. Allen back to the backup role, and Fleury back to the starter. Let's see, can he get us there? The 40-year-old netminder playing for his childhood favorite team against the Florida Panthers here, who are on a really hot streak lately. Will we slow them? Oh, that streak just got hotter. They're 9-1-0 in their last 10. Will that streak slow down here against us, the I believe, still number 1 team in the NHL, unless we lost that role recently to the Anaheim Ducks. First period, they're up 2-0. 2 quick goals from Samoskevich and Matthew Tkachuk. Shots are 12-11 in our favor. Second period, they're going through Fleury quickly. We tied it up by goals, shorthanded goals from Suzuki and Yelanin, but then Denisenko notches 2, and Fleury gets one between, and Rodriguez gets one between those, and it is 5-2 Florida going into the third. They're also leading in shots, 29-22. I think this game's done like dinner, and it is. Anton Lundell gets one more. It's a 6-2 loss. We are on a 3-game losing streak coming into the last stretch of this season, and Cole Caulfield has not notched a single point in 3 games. So maybe I did judge a little too quick and think that he could get it done, or maybe I just gave him the fire under his ass to get it done against a very hot New York Rangers team. Can they contribute together to get the win? And we do. 5-1 win. Cole Caulfield notches a goal there and an assist, and Fleury notches the 50th win of the season for the Montreal Canadiens. We're back up against the Florida Panthers here, who are still doing great. They've lost 1 recently after our losses after the win against us. I am so sorry. I am stumbling over every single word, choking on everything. Oh, I am just a little tired, and my mouth actually just sore. But here we are, last 6 games of the season. What will our Montreal Canadiens do? Do we still sit atop the NHL standings? We do. We're 2 points ahead of the Anaheim Ducks. We've already clinched our playoffs berth for this year's Stanley Cup playoffs, the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm excited for what potential we have to get this done. Let's see how we do against the Florida Panthers here. Will Caulfield get closer to that 60-goal plateau? Nate Smith is just a Laval player, so I don't really care about that right now. He's at 57 still. He's at 57. We got to get him closer against the Boston Bruins, who are just abysmally bad this season. Where do they sit in the standings? They are the second worst team in the NHL. Wow. What a shocker. Okay, so against the second worst team, Boston Bruins, let's see. Okay, Jaden Struble is now out. Oh, my lord. I got to call up a defender. I sent Lane Hudson back down when I was making the line changes. Okay, we have Jordan Harris now on that top pair with Mike Matheson. And then on the offensive lines, I made a change. I did pull Barry Boulay out of the lineup. He had gone pointless through his last few games, and I felt it was a good idea to get Gallagher in and see if maybe he can do better with some higher minutes or some higher responsibilities. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Just going to do best lines in the minors because I think we're pretty good down there. And we'll see how do we do against the Boston Bruins. Don't send me to the minors. Against the Boston Bruins, we had a 4-3 shootout loss. Go figure, we do lose to the Bruins. Cole Caulfield may not hit 60 goals this season, but he is on the cusp, with 4 games remaining in the season, of hitting 100 points. That is insane. Let's see how we do in the second half of a back-to-back against the Toronto Maple Leafs here. These are all important games recently. Jordan Harris is now injured. Okay, guys, give me a minute. I'm going to go make the line changes necessary and call up another defender. Okay, so it is unfortunate that Jordan Harris got hurt in his first game with the team this season. And yes, I know there's probably a riot of fans in the comments possibly yelling at me about the fact that I could call up Lane Hudson and finally give him a shot. But I want him to develop. He's doing amazing in the AHL. I don't want to screw him up and have him stunted. I want him to grow, and so I called up Nicholas Bodin. He's 25, he's more of a veteran, he knows a lot more about how to play the hockey that I want him to play. Hudson is still developing. Long story short, Hudson is still developing. He did okay when we called him up, but I want him to do superb when he gets his call up. And so I gotta wait it out a bit. We're gonna go with Vlasic and Blankenberg on that final pair. Fine, just, you know what, just do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I know Hudson and Penning now have a -2. I don't want to fix that right now. This is so slow to get through. Let's go. Did we even win that game against the Leafs? We do. And Caulfield gets his 101st point. Not only his 100th, but his 101st too. And he sits at 59 goals. So now he's on the cusp of a 60-goal season after already notching a 100-point season. This is insane. There's 3 games left in the season, all of them against divisional teams. Let's see how we do. Do we still sit number 1? We do. We are 4 points ahead of the Anaheim Ducks. So I think we got this in the bag. We do. It looks like we've already clinched the divisional title and the conference title. Oh my gosh, we did. I think we clinched the conference and maybe the presidents. I'm not sure. I don't know what this. I can't remember what the Z means. Okay, against the Buffalo Sabres here. I'm not going to talk anymore. Game 80 of the season. And that's it. 60 goals for Cole Caulfield, 103 points, even in a 6-4 loss. What a great season from the young right winger against the Tampa Bay Lightning here. Jaden Struble, I thought that was another defenseman out of the lineup. I was about to lose my absolute mind. We're going to send down, not Harris, not Struble. I guess it's Bodine going back down to the AHL. Hopefully nothing happens here. I'm going to make the line changes necessary, and I'll be right back with you for the final game of the season. Okay, so we lost the second last game of the season, 5-0. We're on a 2-game losing streak going up against the Ottawa Senators here, who I believe are they're third in our division currently. We do sit 2 points ahead of the Anaheim Ducks. I don't think we've clinched the President's Trophy yet. I think we've clinched our conference, but it's still a bit of a road until, we got one game here to see if we can win it. If we win it, we get the President's Trophy. I'm so proud of this team. I can't wait to look at how everyone did across the entire team. But holy crap, this team has really pulled this together, and our coach is absolutely a star for us. Oh my gosh. But here we go. 51 wins on the season. We're 3-5-2 through our last 10, so we're on a bit of a suck-in streak lately. Inconsistency has been a bit of a falter of ours so far. But we'll see how we do against this Ottawa Senators team, and I'm going to slow sim it, because this video has been a little crazy, a little wacky and wild, a lot of cuts because of the slow sim speeds and everything like that. But we're going to see how we do against this Ottawa Senators team. First period of game 82, and we're up 3-2, a high-scoring first period, and Cole Caulfield already has 2 goals this game. Marchessault getting the other goal, and the first goal of the game for us. Giroux and Norris respond for the Ottawa Senators, but again, it was Cole Caulfield who puts us up 3-2. Shots are 10-8 for us going into the second period. And another goal of William Carrier for us and Brady Tkachuk for them. It is 4-3. We're outshooting them by 7 with 23 shots to 16 for them. Let's see how we do in this third and final period of the regular season for your Montreal Canadiens. And we win 6-5. A high-scoring third period there. Pinto gets them tied up. Reinbacher puts us ahead. Batherson ties it up for them again, and then Barron with literally a hair under 5 minutes to go in the third period puts us up 6-5, and the door gets shut by Fleury, and he wins the final game of the season for the Montreal Canadiens. What a spectacular season for us. I think we've just gone and done it and clinched the President's Trophy, and we have. The Anaheim Ducks and the Colorado Avalanche cannot catch us. They only have 1 game left in the season. What a spectacular season. I'm sorry for all the jumbled words and all the cuts and everything like that. I have had a very busy week, and I've been recording every day this week, and I wasn't feeling the greatest today, but I wanted to get a video out and recorded for tomorrow. But this is amazing. This has been a great way to wrap up the season. I know we didn't do any additions at the trade deadline. I warned you guys, even in the Butte Bandit series, which if you're not watching, go watch that. Please go watch that. There's a playlist and everything. But I warned you guys in that series that I would be doing a Montreal Canadiens series, or a other series that would be more realistic, and I did not see a need, realistically, to make a massive trade at the trade deadline just to knock players down for the future or throw off the chemistry of this team. So, that being said, let's see how everyone did. New Hook with 67 points in 82 games. It's a bump up from last season, maybe a little bit of a regression, especially in the goal scoring category, but he was throwing the puck to everybody, so that's perfect. That's all we needed him to do. Nick Suzuki with 89 points in 67 games. He sets a career high in points and sets an absolutely almost unattainable career high in points per game. I hope he can get back to it next season and just stay like this. He's only 25, so that's a really high potential that he does it. Cole Caulfield with 106 points this season. Ever since we've taken over, ever since his career started, he's just gotten better and better and better. And now, jumping from 39 goals last season to 62 goals this season. Insane production from the 24-year-old right winger that we have locked up long term. Sean Farrell came in just on a whim and ended up notching 47 points in his first 64 NHL games. Great start to his NHL career. On the second line, Kirby Dach with 71 points in 82 games, so another jump up from last season, and he's just been such an underrated key piece of this core for our Montreal Canadiens. 71 points this season, 67 last season. Just doing it so quietly too. Brendan Gallagher didn't do any better. Brendan Gallagher with 21 points in 66 games. He just was not. He was a non-factor for us this season, and we are lucky that we had the scoring contributions from everyone else that we did, including Jonathan Marchessault. Signed him in the offseason, 71 points in 82 games, playing on that third line. What a great season for him. Only a 2-point drop-off from his time with the Montreal Canadiens, or with the Vegas Golden Knights, but an 8-minute drop-off in ice time. 7 minutes mostly, but that is an entire 2 lines, or maybe 1 line, down from what he normally did. He still contributed so well for us. Great season for the the free agent signing. Joshua Waugh. Joshua Waugh with 49 points in 82 games. Jesse Alonen with 34 points in 58 games, but again, he was great defensively for us. And then that fourth line was great. 27 points for Carrier, 34 points for Raphael Harvey-Pinard on the fourth line, getting 10 minutes a night, almost 20 goals. 31 points for Jake Evans, again, almost 20 goals. Great fourth line. Oh my gosh, if we can run this team again next season, that'd be great. Matheson with 32 points, on the season. Struble with 8 points in 35 games and a plus 12. Caden Gooley with 44 points, so a small drop off, but he played 7 less games than last season, so he possibly would have reached that if he'd been able to stay healthy and in the lineup fully. David Reinbacher in his first season, 28 points in 74 games, including a goal there in that last game of the season. Arbor Chakai with 12 points in 82 games, 115 penalty minutes. And then Justin Barron, he was insane to start the season and then cooled off heavily, but stayed a very good contributing top defenseman for us. He was great last season, comes up again this season, and is stellar with 32 points in 72 games. And he was a plus 33. Like, I know that's not a real good metric in real life NHL. It's probably one of the worst ones to judge defensive play. But we can't deny that it has a lot of merit here in the EA Sports NHL world. And then goaltenders, Marc-Andre Fleury finished with an 897. He had a rough ending to the season there. 31 wins, 14 losses, 5 overtime losses, and 4 shutouts through 55 games this season. Better than he did last season. We took a major... No, actually... It's a little... Like, his record was better. His save percentage and stuff was about the same, I would say. But still, we can't deny that he was a great signing for us to stabilize our net. And then again, Jake Allen, rough start to the season, really cooled it down through the middle part there. And then he was a little rocky at the end when we gave him a shot. But combined, they had 7 shutouts for us this season. Just great contributions. And then again, Gustav Forsling is in the lineup. 22 points in 74 games. Great free agent signing. I still stand by that he was a great free agent signing. And Yuri Slafkovsky with 42 points in 62 games, but 31 goals. Wow. What a good season for us. I'll look through the rest of the league in the next video, but also, we can't drop it. In the next video, we will be going through our playoffs. We will be doing a great... In the next video, we will be starting the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll go through the stats, we'll go through our first round matchup, see who we're up against, and we'll see how this team does under the pressure of the chase for the Stanley Cup. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this one. I'm sorry that I was stumbling over all my words. I hope that you guys have stuck around to the end of the video here just to hear my little spiel and say that I'm sorry for being a little jumbled today. My throat's dry. I'm all over the place. My brain's all over the place. I just hit the mic trying to talk here because I still use hand gestures even though nobody can see me when I'm talking right now. But thank you guys. This has been a blast, and thank you guys for all the love and support on the channel lately. It's been going crazy and I love it, and it's like a dopamine hit. I open my phone, I check YouTube Studio. I'll be at work, open my phone, check YouTube Studio. It's been great. Thank you guys so much. You wouldn't believe, sorry, how much you guys have been making this new year amazing for me. So thank you guys. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It only lets me know what type of content you want to see more of, and it lets me grow as a channel. So thank you guys, and I'll see you as we take this powerhouse of a team through the Stanley Cup playoffs in the next video. Bye!